We hope that everyone comes out and enjoys it and has a great time and is inspired to go make things on their own. And maybe the next year they'll be an exhibitor. Hi, I'm Bill Ball. I am a scholar in residence at Capital University, and I'm also one of the organizers of the MakerX Columbus Maker Expo event each year. So I came into this technology at kind of a long road. I grew up in Kansas City. My father and grandfather were carpenters, and I was always making things. And went through my woodworking phase, went through my fixing up car phase, but as I got older and things like computers became common and got into those, and the World Wide Web when it was new, and then later on 3D printing, Arduinos, and other forms of technology more associated with the contemporary maker movement were always things that fascinated me. My background, education-wise, is in a different field in political science. So for a long time it was hobby stuff on the technology, but over time, as I went through my career as a political science professor, realized that there were a lot of students who were equally interested in this stuff. So my first 3D printer, which was a kit-built, wooden-bodied thing off Kickstarter, I brought that into the campus I was at the time and basically turned it over to the students. And that led to the creation of a makerspace on this campus. Initially, it was at an old garage, sort of abandoned, the garage startup story. We cleaned it out and cleaned it up and scraped together a little money and got some better printers and some other equipment. And pretty soon all sorts of great things were happening. It had 24/7 access to it, and all sorts of interesting things happened in the middle of the night. And that also led to being involved into the Maker Faire movement. So when I came to Columbus about a little over 3 years ago, I wanted to bring all that with me. And my situation at Capital allows me to really indulge that passion for those things. And Columbus, I think, is really primed for it. Columbus is a big, dynamic, growing, full of energy kind of place. And of course, it's a home of a lot of innovation in retail and restaurants and so forth. We have close to 100 exhibitors that will be at this event, which include everything from schools, the full K-12 spectrum, variety of schools in the region, colleges and universities. Virtually all the colleges and universities in the area will be there in some capacity. Also, meetup groups, hobbyist groups, inventors, tinkerers, STEM education support groups, and corporations as well. We'll have robotics of all possible types: combat, underwater, R2-D2, humanoid, non-humanoid, just every conceivable type of robotics, believe me, industrial, drones, including competitive drone flying using the first-person view systems. We'll have 3D printing, we'll have digital media and digital art, and art that goes through a digital process, and crafts. There'll be a few things for sale. We will have game and VR development. I would encourage everyone to come and check it out. It's at the State Fairgrounds or Ohio Expo Center in the Buckeye Building. If you buy your tickets at MakerX.org, they're $5 a piece for ages 5 and older. We will have tickets available at the door for sale, but they'll be a little more expensive. There'll be food available for purchase on site. I should say MakerX, if that hasn't been clear so far, is very much a grassroots, volunteer, organized event. So the members of the planning committee are all in the education field in one way or another and involved with this maker movement, mostly K-12 schools around the area. And it's something we do because we want everybody to be part of this. We hope that everyone comes out and enjoys it and has a great time and is inspired to go make things on their own. And maybe the next year they'll be an exhibitor, or at least join with one of our exhibitors and become part of that movement. And I think a one-day festival like this is a complement to the many, many other things that are going on in Columbus. I'm just going to give a few examples, but the GDEX Game Development Conference that takes place in the fall, the Maker Hour of Code that focus on code, and all the hackathons, coding events, and other supporting type organizations, the things that go on in our engineering programs, the robotics competitions at the schools, the startup and entrepreneurship events. So there's this whole range of conferences and events that happen in Columbus on the calendar, And we're hoping that MakerX helps complete that picture and has something that people can enjoy and benefit from one day a year.